All right. Hey, everybody. My name is Bailey Lamont, and I'm here with Rico Brower, and we're talking to Cédric Levieux from the French Pirate Party. He is the number 2 candidate on the list for the European elections. Very exciting. Hi, Cédric.
Hi, Bailey.
How are
Bonjour.
you doing today?
I'm very tired because there is a lot of things to do in France. I'm, in fact, the main coordinator between journalists and candidates. So I make the triage between the ask the questions, and I need to find the persons who can answer to the journalist and to put less pressure on Flory's main head of the list. So I am
Yeah,
the one tired, but she's also.
So
that's understandable.
Florie Marie is your front runner, right? We talked to her earlier. Yeah.
I know, I know.
Yeah. So, let's dive right in then. So, why don't you start by introducing yourself, just for all the people who might not know you? Tell us a little bit about Cédric.
Oh, I'm 41 years old, and I'm in a French Pirate Party. I'm in my common life. I'm a software architect and engineer, and I had the chance to work at home. And I travel once per month by train to see my teammates. So I'm very pleased in my life for the moment. And in the rest, for the French Pirate Party, I'm in the technical council. And in my international life, I'm an alternate member of the board of the PPI.
Yes, you are.
Yes, I am. So I know you. And for my political life, I am in the French Pirate Party since 2012. And I candidate 3 times for the legislative elections.
Awesome.
Yes, a lot of things, in fact.
Yeah, sounds like it. You're a pretty busy guy.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about the French Pirate Party?
Oh, normally Flory explain to you what the French Party is, but yes, for everybody else, we can start back. Um, the French Party is a pirate party, in fact, in France. Yes, Captain Obvious here. Our main purpose in France is to go to elections to present the pirate point of view. And we fight for democracy, for culture sharing, for um, science, knowledge, sharing also, and for freedom, liberty, individual liberties. There is a lot of things. In fact, we start from 2009 from culture sharing to a lot of things right now. We fight for against, in fact, the climate change. We fight for diversity freedom as LGBT. We fight, in fact, for all those kind of things. But in France, the electoral system is very difficult. There is some difficulties with the election system. Uh, the parties need to pay to go to the elections, and it's not a fair price, in fact. So, for example, for the European elections, we need to raise about 200,000 of euros at least to have our ballots.
200,000 euros.
Yes,
How do you do
and
that?
it's a little minimum because with that you have about 70% of the ballots, and you have no propaganda. For if you want to go to a fair election, you need to spend at least 500,000 of euros.
How?
Yes.
How do you raise funds then?
We can't. We try, but it's very difficult. In fact, for the moment, we gather about 15,000 euros, and in fact, for in our point of view, it's a kind of success because we can spend it into ballots. It's not a lot of ballots, around 2, 3, 4, 5% in few regions, but we are present, and because of that, we are not a little party. We have the littlest great party in France. So we step further in the election system in France, in the political system. It's not a great victory, but we need to go step by step in France. It's very difficult.
But if you can elaborate on this, there's 32 parties running in France, kind of. So there
34 right
34.
now.
So yeah, so all of them have to raise hundreds of thousands of euros if they want to
Yes. Every party, and right now, because day by day we learned some different things. For example, we are searching for papers to make the ballots, and because of French special regulations. Oh, I'm green again.
Live. Okay. So yes, we were speaking about ballot and the price to pay for democracy in France. And yes, we speak about France, about this is the country of freedom, of democracy, and so on. But our electoral system is fucked up, in fact. Yes, I use the F word, but yes, this is true. And for yes, there is 34 lists in France, but not all of them will have some ballots, because for some political parties, this is an opportunity, only a media opportunity to speak. So maybe we will have half of the list will have some ballots, and not all of them will have ballots everywhere. Only we count about between 6 and 8 parties will be able to have their ballots, because so we start from 34 and we finish with 8 parties with ballots with this kind of system.
I'm flabbergasted.
Yeah. But like I said earlier, we are fighting step by step. And last year we start an action about a unique ballot, it's done everywhere, in fact, or not everywhere, but as far as we know, in Spain, in Germany, in Italy, in Belgium, so in Europe. And we have some people saying in France that, oh no, it's not possible. Why? And we sent to our representative in the National Assembly, we sent a paper with a proposal of law to change the electoral system. And we have, in fact, some positive answers, and the law is now in discussion. So maybe the Pirate Party is able to change this law. But for the moment, going to election is great. It's a lot of money to pay.
Sure. Okay, thanks for elaborating.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's really hard being a small party. I feel like a lot of pirate parties have that problem. Maybe not with like having to dish out so much money, but just in general, being a small party and not having as much like relative power compared to the other parties who have lots of money and lots of ability to reach a far audience and to get that media coverage and whatnot. But I mean, good for you guys.
In fact, it was very difficult to live with this system because when you are outside of France, you didn't see this particularity of France, and there is a lot of speech about the French Party unable to go to the power. But as a little party in France, you can't reach power without making some acquaintances with others. And with that, you lose a bit of your identity. And we need to balance the risk and the win. But for the moment, in fact, well, we are better than a few years ago. In fact, we have some journalists that they are asking to go with us. In fact, during the elections, we have some media coverage. I need, in fact, I worked about 5 or 6 years per day for the moment between candidates and journalists. So we can reach the media right now. So it's difficult, but we are not unknown.
Well, that's good. And I mean, just watching from afar, it looks like you're all doing a really great job. Just saying.
We hope so. We will see in 2 weeks, in fact.
Yep, definitely. So why don't we switch gears a little bit and what about you talked about the electoral system in France and some of the challenges with that, but what about the political landscape overall in France right now? And in Europe in general.
Oh, in France it's good because we don't see much further, not so much further, in fact, about outside the Europe. We will see that there is a nationalism rising all in the Europe. That's what features inside the French Party. We see the righties and going to extremisms. And when you see, in fact, other candidates from the party of Macron, our president, she was from a nationalist list when she was young. She speak about Blitzkrieg during the Armistice Day 2 days ago. And Blitzkrieg is German words used to explain a quick war, and you use it when you speak, in fact, about a strong victory with force and martial spirit. And during speaking with this kind of word during the commemorations of the end of the war, it's a bit tricky. So you have the right about 60% in France. If you see from Macron to Marine Le Pen, you have around 60%. It's not very. We are not all against Macron. I was yeah, my head. I will skip my head with that. We are not all against Macron with all he is doing, but for the moment is splitting all our social system he wants to silence the teachers. Um, he wants to rebuild magically the Notre Dame without respecting the norms of construction, because in 5 years we have the Olympic Games in France, so we need to restore it quickly. So there is a lot of things that are very special in France in the moment. And as everybody can see from outside France and in France, there is a yellow jacket or the yellow vest. The two names are used, and it's very tricky to speak about them, because there is a social upset about our political system, about our politics, and it's very difficult, because you have leftists, you have rightists, you have people in needs, and now with the elections, you have some political persons that take care some yellow jacket, and they are splitting the movement. So it's very difficult to see what can be France in 6 months, in 2 years. It's very difficult to see where we'll be. And we are very feared to see nationalisms to win in 3 years.
Yeah, and in 2 weeks also with the EU.
In 2 weeks, we hope that other parties in the cities, as the Greens, that are allied for the moment in the parliament, we hope that they can have some places in the parliament. But for the moment, Macron and Marine Le Pen have half of the places for the moment. So yes, for the moment they win in 2 weeks, and we need to fight against that.
Definitely. So we're almost at the end here. One final question for you. 2 weeks from now, Cédric becomes a member of the European Parliament. What are you looking forward to the most in that job, and what are some of the big issues at the EU level that you want to focus on?
We speak a lot about that, in fact, because we want to win. We want to win, and we need to have an answer for that. And there is two main goals to go to the parliament for now, is democracy and digital affairs. As a software engineer, I am very interested in digital affairs, and as some people knows about one of my software congresses, I'm also interested into democracy and what can digital can afford to put into democracy to make it greater, affordable for everyone, using internet to take decisions and so on. For me, it's a lot of possibilities. And as we can see with fake news and so on, we need to focus with this two systems together, and we must focus at the European level to not the people who want to cut off internet from the knowledge, using terrorism and fake news to put people away from the internet and from the knowledge. And this is what this is some topics in discussions in France, in fact. So this is the main focus I will look at if I'm a Eurodeputee, if I am a deputy in the European Parliament in 2 weeks.
Excellent. Well, Cédric, thank you so much for talking to us today. Best of luck during the election to all of you. You're doing great. And yeah, thank you again.
Bye-bye.
It was a pleasure.
Au revoir.